Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching. 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 A large sandstorm is approaching. Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
I just need to add a couple boxes to this thing. Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna hide from the storm, I'm assuming, right? Sure. I'm gonna put a aluminum box and that little cubby there. Hold on a second. This be your like Spike's depot, and yeah. And for when you are able to come here. Okay. Gotcha. Do you want us to go attack them, or what would you like us to do? Sounds good. Yeah, we'll probably chase them and go for kills. It sounds like fun. full, yeah, we'll get them. It'll be fun.
First of many trials our young guardians will face. Their journey of honor and courage has truly begun.
Join us next time on The Young Guardians as our heroes continue their journey, facing new challenges as they uphold the legacy of House Atreides. Until then, remember, honor and loyalty are the true marks of a warrior. This is Tolliver Cam, your faithful Communinet crier, spreading the word of the Duke and reminding you it will get better. War is hell, but our cause is just, and there's no other possible outcome than total victory.
into the jaws of death. One more June, one more June, one more June onward. Into the desert storm flew the brave soldiers. Forward the shield brigade, the las guns must down, he said. Into the desert storm flew the brave soldiers. Forward the shield brigade! No one to hesitate, despite their reckless hate. Hearkening, villainy. The troops not to ask what's right. They carry our sacred light, theirs, but to stand and fight. Into the desert storm blew the brave soldiers. Las guns to right of them, las guns to left of them, las guns in front of them, lightning and fire beam, forward to final breath. Boldly they flew, and well, into the jaws of death. Into the mouth of hell flew the brave soldiers. Flashed all their crysknives bare, flashed as they turned in air, slicing the gunners there, charging an army, while Arrakis all wondered. Plunged in the battle smoke, right through the line they broke. Harkonnen and Sardaukar reeled from the crysknife stroke, shattered and sundered. Then they flew back, but not all of the soldiers. Las guns to right of them, las guns to left of them, las guns behind them. Lightning and fire beam forward to final breath. They that had fought so well came through the jaws of death. Back from the mouth of hell, all that was left of them, left of the soldiers. Ne'er will their glory fade. Oh, the wild charge they made. Atreides, in debt to them, honor the charge they made. Honor the shield brigade. Oh, noble soldiers.
It's our boy. Can I open this up for you? You can access. Okay. Gotcha. There? Yep. Yeah, we'll be keeping active watch over the area regardless.
It's the Wastelander Chronicle, brought to you by O'Gary's Imports. O'Gary's Imports. If you want it, you don't have it. Join us now as we journey to the blistering sands of Arrakis, where we follow the adventures of the O'Gary clan, a pioneering family of salvage experts, as they scour war-torn battlefields and crash sites to discover their next great haul.
Hey there, everyone! Welcome back to the Wastelander Chronicles. I'm your Badland Scout, Sally O'Gary, back with another wild adventure from the Wastelander Chronicles. Today's story is a real nail-biter. We were out in the Haga Basin, tracking an off-course freighter when we had the most incredible and terrifying encounter. Let me tell you all about it. We were cruising along in Clovis, our trusty 68 Shom Landmaster. It was supposed to be a routine trip, nothing special. But then, out of nowhere, a rock slide showered down from above and blocked our way. And when the sand and dust settled, we were surrounded. Over a dozen of the fearsome desert warriors known as the Fremen materialized from the gloom. At least we thought they were Fremen, but their faces were hidden behind weird iron helmets. But Fremen or no, these guys were all business. The one with the biggest helmet stepped forward. He seemed to be in charge and didn't waste any time accusing us of trespassing on Moscaret territory.
Moscaret? I've heard of this stuff.
Maybe not a good time for name calling, hon.
We tried to explain that we were just friendly explorers, but they weren't having any of it. The one in the big helmet said we were infidels, defiling the Electric Burns domain. Whatever the heck that meant.
A cargo cult. Fremen wannabes. Dude Shaz warned me about them.
When were you talking to Dude Shaz?
Not now.
Well, was he talking to you, or were you talking to him?
Here we go.
I'm just asking. Don't I have a right to know why my wife is always chatting up the handsome sheriff?
He gives good intel.
Is that what you said?
By that point, I guess Big Helmet had enough of Mom and Dad's bickering, because he got real mad and ordered us buried up to our necks in the sand. But just as they were gonna drop us into chin-deep pits, something incredible happened. The Moscaret started yelling at us something they call Shakaloo, and we had to the big sandworm. Well, I don't have to tell you what happened next. The ground started rumbling and rumbling like never before. I swore it must have been one of those super granddaddy sandworms you hear about living in the deepest desert. I figured it must have took a wrong turn at the shield wall and ended up on our heels. But I'll tell you what, when it comes to worms, Mom and Dad know their business and led us to safety on a rock island with practiced precision. When the dust settled, the worm was gone and there was no sign of the Moscaret. Or was there? I've got their trail.
Good job, son. Follow it.
And why are we following it again?
They threatened my safety.
The trail led to a depression in the
Hey,
rock.
Faith,
where the
how you
Moscaret
doing?
would make camp. They posted guards, but they were no match for us. The best part is, after
I appreciate it. I'm a little poor on compactor right now, so that makes a long way for me.
It smelled like farts and old cheese. But I slipped it into my bag anyhow. I know, stealing isn't right.
Thanks,
But
I
Dad
appreciate
always
it.
says that if they're
Sure.
dead, then it really isn't stealing. Anyhow, we took the helmets and left their gross corpses to the scavengers before finding our way back to Clovis. As we headed back home, I couldn't wait to adventure. Back at our shop, we spent days spit shining the helmets to a near polish as we get them ready for you, dear listeners.
That's right, Sally. At O'Gary's Imports, it's Moscaret Mass Mayhem. And we won't be undersold. We have big helmets. We have we don't have it, we'll get it.
Thanks, Dad. Until next time, this is your faithful background Sally O'Gary, signing off and reminding you to always check your six. And come back next time
Okay.
for another episode of the Wastelander
Okay,
Chronicles.
I'll help you out.
How about that, folks? The deep desert holds more than just spice and sand.
There's a pile on the floor for you. I'll do it now. Did you get it? Ryan, can you just unload his ship? Good on water? Okay.
Echoes of valor, whispering brave souls now shadowed in the dunes. The remnants of glory. Desert silence, broken by memory. Sound muffled, shifting, sacrificed. Lives given. Giving the gold. Surrender to glory. Ears of valor, of gallant deeds, echoes in the annals of history. History, written in blood and sweat. The remnants of glory. In the silence, we remember
You grab the piles.
names and faces faded. Faded but not forgotten, their legacy a flame, undying. Glory may fade, but honor remains. A guiding star. The remnants of glory. In the stillness, whispers linger, ghosts, battles fought. Won or lost, but not forgotten, the echoes. Echoes of valor.
Welcome, noble listeners of House Atreides, to another poignant episode of Through Their Eyes. Today, we bring you the story of Sergeant Creel, a decorated member of the 2nd Deep Desert Expeditionary Force who has faced the horrors of war firsthand. As we delve into his experiences, we honor the bravery and sacrifices of our troops.
Sergeant Creel, thank you for joining us today. Can you start by telling us about your involvement in the operation at Dejum Wadi?
Of course, we're operational in the deep desert, so when scouting came back from reports of a Hark emplacement at Dejum Wadi, well, that was a serious provocation.
What happened at Dejum Wadi?
Like I said, we own the deep desert, so when word got back to us of a Harkonnen bastion being raised, our commanders knew what to do. 7 different cohorts, including the 5th Mesa Infantry and Gurney Zone, were simultaneously deployed in a coordinated attack. The whole operation was brutal. The Hark defenders much more vicious than we were used to.
And yet, you and your fellow soldiers managed to execute the mission with surgical precision. Can you share a specific moment from that operation that stands out in your memory?
Well, there was this one moment, I guess. The Hark bastion was still only half built, and we'd taken out a group of engineers, but we were spotted by a fortified lasgun position from the finished part of the bastion and pinned down. They were really tearing us apart. And somehow, we managed to get behind them through the half-built works. I remember crawling through the blood-stained sand and rubble. The smell of death and the fried ozone thick on the air. When we finally took out that position, at least, it felt like a small victory in this ceaseless ocean of despair.
Your bravery is truly inspiring. As the operation continued, what kept you and your fellow soldiers going?
Duty. Honor. The things they drill into you from day one. The example set by the fearless men of Gurney Zone. But honestly, in the end, it's all about the man next to you. It's him you fight for. To keep him alive. It wasn't about grand ideals anymore. It was about survival.
House Atreides prides itself on its moral high ground and honorable conduct. How did the principles of Canley and the Great Convention hold up under the extreme conditions of battle?
Canley? That's for fancy folks with sashes and pressed uniforms. For us, the reality of war changes people. These missions, you do things that you never thought you would. I remember one night, after we took out a Hark listening station, seeing my comrades picking through the carnage off of Harkonnen survivors. They seemed different somehow. As if the brutality of the war had drained all humanity out of them. I even remember...
Sergeant Creel, it's clear that the emotional toll is heavy. Perhaps we can focus more on the moments of camaraderie and hope that you experienced during these dark times.
The what? No. Yeah, I mean, there are moments, sure, but... like between missions, people share stories, laugh about the little things. Anything to keep the darkness at bay. But those moments are fleeting. The reality of what we have to do is always there, lurking in the background.
And during the shield wall operation, what was the state of your unit at that point?
Oh, it was pretty chaotic. At that point, we were exhausted, barely holding on. More than half the unit was replacements by then. Young, inexperienced kids, really. Just hanging on by the skin of their teeth. The Harkonnens had good intel. They somehow knew about most of our operations beforehand. I lost more friends in those days than I can count. I mean, we were just trying to stay alive, you know? Mission by mission, but... really, what was the point of it all?
Sergeant Creel, I'm sure at least you find some solace in knowing that your courage and sacrifice will never be forgotten. Can you share with us the impact your involvement in these operations has had on you personally?
I mostly just remember the, faces, the screams, the loss. I mean, I try to recall the good we did, the successes and the victories, but It's hard. So damn hard.
Your service and dedication to House Atreides are deeply appreciated. We thank you for sharing your story with us.
Yeah, thank you. I just hope it was worth it.
And that concludes our interview with Sergeant Creel. His story is a stark reminder of the sacrifices made by our brave special forces. Let us honor their sacrifices and strive for a future where this can finally end and the Harkonnens are eradicated from all of Arrakis.
Listens to another episode of Through Their Eyes, first-hand accounts from the front lines, presented by your host, Redondo Monroe. In twilight's glow where shadows meet, a warrior stands on weary feet. His sword, once bright, now dulled with strife, reflects the toll of countless lives. Oh, fate, you've carved this path of pain, through deserts vast, through blood and rain. Yet honor binds my heart tonight. For House Atreides, I still fight. Remember those who fell in fields, whose courage were their only shields. Their names engraved in stars above, their deeds the legacy of love. In silence, now I take my leave, for battles end, and souls must grieve. But know this truth, my comrades dear, in every heart we still stand near. Oh, house of just and noble name, we've lit the stars with honor's flame. And though my journey's end is near, House Atreides, shed no tear. For in the halls where heroes rest, where valor shines, where hearts are blessed, we'll meet again in timeless peace, where all our pains and trials cease. In twilight's glow where shadows meet, a warrior stands on weary feet. His sword, once bright, now dulled with strife, reflects the toll of countless lives. Oh, fate, you've carved this path of pain, through deserts vast, through blood and rain. Yet honor binds my heart tonight. For House Atreides, I still fight. Remember those who fell in fields, whose courage were their only shields. Their names engraved in stars above, their deeds the legacy of love. In silence, now I take my leave, for battles end, and souls must grieve. But know this truth, my comrades dear, in every heart we still stand near. Oh, house of just and noble name, we've lit the stars with honor's flame. And though my journey's end is near, House Atreides, shed no tear. For in the halls where heroes rest, where valor shines, where hearts are blessed, we'll meet again in timeless peace, where all our pains and trials cease. Powerful words that remind us of the courage and resolve that lives in every Atreides heart.
The heart of Rendavo. Rendavo's father was a sergeant, old and bent and grey. He served the Duke. With children 9 around him, and Ren, the youngest there. The older siblings learned some sense, but Ren was left without. He was tall, but short on wisdom, and grew up broad and happy. Pious, cheerful, willing, yet he seldom did things right. What will become of you, poor boy? His father asked each night. And finally, Ren answered, a soldier, sword in hand. If all else fails, at least I can still die for Duke and land. Ren packed his bag and went to join the brave Atreides troop. Strong and fit, and healthy too, he was welcomed in the group. But when he had to master drills and learn the skills of war, the sergeant screamed and laughed and screamed still more. For when ordered to turn left, Ren would quickly turn to right, and told to shoulder arms instead, he charged with all his might. Rendavo's drills and troubles became a well-known tale. Even famous Duncan, Idaho, would smile at his travail. And when at last Ren's unit was ordered off to war, the officers debated, was he suited for that chore? But Ren just let them argue. He stood there, broad and straight. If with the others I can't go, I'll go alone. Just wait. He took his sword and backpack and marched out with the rest. At camp he was their servant, fulfilling each request. But when the battles raged, he was ordered to stand back. He didn't understand when to take cover or attack. Duncan, Idaho was on the run, Harkonnens in his tracks. He passed Rendavo's unit, shouting, "Boys, you watch our backs. Don't let the devils through the gorge, or all of us are lost. Guard it until we regroup. Keep it safe at any cost. A small detachment, made up but of barely 20 men, got there in time to make their stand. Along with them came Ren. The Harkonnen fell on them hard, their lasguns raining death. 7 brave Atreides men gave up their costly breath. The same disastrous fate would soon befall all those who'd stay. So when ordered to retreat, they all retreated straight away. All but one, who stayed to fight and charged the foes instead. Ren couldn't get the notion of flight through his stubborn head. He just stood there, broad and strong, and ready now to teach a lesson to each Harkonnen who came within his reach. At the choke point in the gully, they all each took a turn, but without lasgun cover. One by one, were forced to learn. They charged at Ren, but each who came was fought and bested all the same. None could beat him at this game, for Atreides' honor, house, and name. Duncan Idaho had rallied all the troops that still were hale. He shouted, "Hold out, my brave lad, we're coming, do not fail." He told all who would hear him, watch a true Atreides fight. "Hurry, boys, come to his aid, he has saved us all tonight." Against that fearsome counter-strike, no Harkonnen could hold. They faltered, failed, and turned their backs, a rare sight to behold. Faces pale, their weapons dropped behind them as they ran. And Duncan looked around and asked, "Where is that fearless man? He who held the gully until we could all return, that hero of the desert, whose name I must needs learn." "He has fallen," said the sergeant, his head bowed down in shame. "He lies there dead upon the sand. Rendavo was his name." "I remember him," said Idaho, of Ren who'd seemed to rest, but for the blood that stained the shirt across his mighty chest. "That lasgun knew just where to strike, as plainly you can see," said Idaho to those around. "Yes, it knew more than we. It shunned his brow. 'Twas weak and poor, that much all of us knew. But found instead what better was his heart, forever true." The word spread quick among all those who had survived the fight, and every soldier did agree Duncan Idaho was right. Rendavo was no thinker. His heart slow, truth be told. His head, they said, was thick as wood, but his heart was
that shit, dude? Please tell me you saw that shit. I switched teams, brother. I almost fucking died, Faye. The only one that witnessed it was Faye, dude. So tragic. I see you brought the big boy out. Drop for what?
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching. Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Okay, let's go. Time for the storm. Oh, very nice. It should be in there, in the chest. We haven't moved anything, I don't think. It should be the one the far back. Oh, yeah, of course.